Hello, beautiful beings of light. I just wanted to do a little introduction here before I put the video up for you. I wanted to let you know when this was recorded and for why it was recorded so that you can understand a little bit more about what I'm doing here. So I was asked to be a speaker for some people on a platform called The Gathering of Light, I think is what their platform is called. And they created an event over the equinox, over the weekend of March 20th and 21st, 2021. And they asked me to come in and be a guest speaker. And so I did. I went in and I did a talk inside of there. And what came through with the talk was some information. I had kind of like recapped information on some channelings and a book that I'm writing like it's an ongoing thing. And I just wanted to let you know that the information that I'm giving you here isn't the full information, and that there is so much more that's coming through. And so I have decided to start on my website. I'm doing a blog spot, and so if you want to like delve deeper into what's coming through and what's going to be in the book, I'm going to be posting blogs in the blog spot about with all the channelings and all that's coming through, because I'm being guided to do this because I don't know if they want me to like wait until the book is ready to be published or anything like that. They really want the information to be out there. And so I'm going to be basically putting up the information as it comes through. So if you want to delve into that part of the teachings about what's coming through and everything, just keep an eye on my blog spot. It's on my website called www.calm, C-A-L-M, art, A-R-T, studio, studio.com, and go into the area on the menu that's called the blog spot. And in there I will be uploading at different times randomly different things that are coming through, different teachings, and you're more than welcome to go through and look at them while it's being put together. And so I just wanted to tell you about that. And then if you like what I do, I also have a network on YouTube. It's called the Shine Your Light Network. And everything that I do, I upload into the Shine Your Light Network. So if you want to be more involved and you want to hear more of what's coming through and all the different things that I do, definitely come over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And you can avail of all of the material that I bring forward, because I put everything there, and everything I do is from my heart without any expectation for material gain. So, you know, it's all there. You can go, and it's not hidden from you if you don't have a certain amount of money to get the information. So I believe that this information that's coming through is given to me by my guides and by my team, and they don't want me to hold back the information just because they want people to get the information and not have to worry about the fact that they might not have enough money to get the information. So that's why I'm putting everything out here. I do this from my heart, and I love each and every one of you. Now, in this talk, I also included a healing that I did for everybody, brought everybody into their healing chamber. But you'll notice on here, all of a sudden, it just kind of like something happens. So basically, in the middle of the whole thing, while I was taking people into their heart, the power went out in my house. And So it was completely cut. Everything was cut, and I had to come in and I had to like record the meditation, the journey, the healing part separately, and then tack it onto the end. So you'll just notice that all of a sudden there's no picture there and that it's just my voice. And so yeah, that's what happened. And I have no idea. As soon as like my talk was supposed to be over with, the power came back on. So I don't know why the power was cut, other than maybe I needed to take a deeper look at the meditation and what I was going to be bringing through. And I did make a couple of changes, so hopefully everything will work out better for everybody out there in the world. And I hope you really enjoy it and get something out of this talk. And if you did get something out of this talk and you're finding this on my YouTube channel, please do make a comment, and any questions that you might have about what I talked about, make a comment, and maybe if there's something that I didn't answer that you would like to have an answer of, just let me know in the comment section, and I would be happy to give you an answer if I have one. So enjoy this whole talk that was done on March 20th, 2021, and I send you guys with lots of love and lots of light, and I love all of you. And I was very honored to be asked to be part of this event that these people were putting on. So thank you very much. Today, I just want to welcome you all to this workshop. And I also want to stress that I don't consider myself as a healer, and I'm not here to heal you or to tell you how to heal. What I am is a facilitator in healing. And I wanted to basically tell you that I want to bring to the table the best knowledge that I can through my heart without expectation of any material gain. And I believe that we are all healers, and that our job is to first and foremost heal thyself. The information I bring forward is meant to help gain new tools to place into your spiritual toolbox. So please take whatever resonates and let the rest flow away. Okay, so my name is Nicole, and I'm also called the Daughter of Light, and that's just something that I've been called from the Lemurian Star Mothers. I came into this lifetime as a way shower of freedom, and my purpose is to activate as many souls as possible to raise their vibration and for them to begin to ascend to the new golden age. I activate in a couple of different ways: through my light-coded artwork that is meant to help wake up people and also help to the work that you see kind of behind my head and stuff. All of that is light-coded, and so it not only wakes people up, but it also has keys and codes in it that helps them move forward in their ascension. And I also work with the crystals and the Lemurian Star Mothers. Trying to read this and tell you at the same time is hard. I also channel through my Lemurian priestess aspect, who calls herself Alana. And since 2018, during a QHHT session, I was given the gift of direct connection to my higher self and spiritual team. And at first, I doubted this connection, but I've come to fully trust my spiritual team. And I've even started to write a book full of channelings that are coming through with Alana and my team. And so far, I've channeled much information pertaining to the times of Lemuria and how they existed and how they still exist inside the earth. Alana, my Lemurian aspect, was a high priestess who lived 1,000 years or more. Like, I'm being told that she's living a lot longer than 1,000. And her job or mission was to infuse the crystals with the Akashic records of Lemuria to help preserve their customs and ways for the future humans, which are us. in the now time. And she was told that there will come a time where humans will start to remember how to go back and turn their light bodies back on. And I believe the time is now for all of us to remember. And so I'm going to go into where I was going to talk. I have a whole little outline of what I'd like to kind of cover. And most of the stuff that I'm going to be covering is things that have been coming in through the channelings and what information that I've been being shown lately. And so first of all, I would like to speak about the inner earth beings and how they left the outer crust because it became so dense. And so this is like kind of the story where people talk about how Lemuria and Atlantis fell. And what I've been being shown is that there was never a fall, like it never fell. And that it was always, it was like a time, like the times of Lemuria. It was a time on the earth. And eventually, like the beings that lived, they lived very high vibrational. They were etheric. They were mostly etheric, and they were not totally like humans the way that we are. Their light bodies were turned on a lot more. And through time, the earth became denser because of like elements and all kinds of things happened, and everything became a lot more dense. And what happened was these Lemurians knew that this was going to be happening because this is the cycle of life, and they were showing me that the earth has changed like so much as far as like the landscape of what it was like back when the times of Lemuria, times of Atlantis, the times now, the times like even in the future. And the land masses change. It's like they ebb and flow with like the elements, and you know, you have volcanoes and you have sinking of land masses, and they go under the water and then some come back up. And so what they have been showing me is that the whole landscape is different than what it was back in the times of Lemuria. And so what they're trying to stress to me is that it wasn't all like we think now that the times of Lemuria, that Lemuria existed on an island somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, kind of over near Hawaii kind of direction. And what I was being shown is Lemuria existed across the whole globe. It was a time. It wasn't necessarily a landmass. And what they've been showing me is that there is cities of light that are located all over the globe, where they kind of went in when the earth, when everything became so dense outside of the earth. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but this is what they've been showing me. And so they're saying there's pockets of cities of light that they all have like little portals, and they all have like little entrances. And it's not just what people think is only like over there in Hawaii or in like the Pacific Ocean, that it was the all of the whole globe. And let's see. I'm going to go back to that question, and I'm going to come back up here. Okay, so then they wanted me to talk about this orb, this crystal, this light that is located inside of the earth. And they wanted me to explain about it because, you know, like these beings, they live thousands and thousands of years compared to like what we are living. And they know how to regenerate their bodies. They know how to take care of that. And it's possible. We know that it's possible to do that. And one of the ways that they have been able to do this is with this light infusion. And there is like this, it's like a light, it's like an orb or a cluster. I'm not sure. I've been being given a visual of it. It's like this big, huge thing that lights up inside the earth, and that's where they get their light infusion, and everything kind of like lights up and glows in there. And what they explained to me was that there was one on the outside of the earth too, on the earth's crust. There was one of these lights, and that at the times of Lemuria, they were able to be using this light and to live this way. And then it got kind of, I think some beings or whatever came in and they demolished it, or they did something to it. And then now the only part that exists is on the inside. And so what they're telling me is that at the moment, they're being given the information to some scientists and things to be able to recreate this light, and that's being done right now, and it will be coming available and online in the next I think 50 years or something like that, that we're going to be able to have access to this. But at the moment, we don't have the access, and so they are using etheric. Like, there's so much, it's hard for me to even go in and explain everything that they're showing me. Let me just back up a little bit and talk about the fact that we can access the inner earth, and most of us are accessing it through dream time, and we're also accessing it through astral travel, through our astral body, and that not very many people have their vibration raised enough to be able to physically go to the inner earth, but there are still few people that are able to go to the inner earth. And that these scientists and stuff that they're teaching them at nighttime during in the astral plane. And eventually this technology will be here and we'll be able to use it. But at the moment, it's all kind of like still happening on the inner earth. And that goes back to, I would like to talk about the healing chambers. And the healing chambers are something that I didn't really know about until after I got my Lemurian crystal. So I have a big long story about the Lemurian crystal, and I'm not going to go into it today, but I was basically told to make a short story. In my 2018 QHHT session, I was told that I had spent a lifetime in Lemuria as a high priestess, and that I had infused the crystals with the information. And then I was also told this again in a session that I just had with Alexandra, and I didn't know her name, but they had told me this time now her name is Alana. So I know that her name is Alana, and that was what my aspect's name was back then. And they told me in my session in 2018 that I would be accessing a crystal. It would come into my hands, and it would be kind of the key to opening up my Akashic records and all of that stuff. And so after I received this crystal, and that was in 2019, I started working with it and just kind of having it with me, because I didn't know how I was going to access these records. And there was a day that I was having a really hard day, and I was having actually a really hard week, and I just wanted to just be with my star family. I just didn't want to be here on the earth anymore. I was just not wanting it. And so I went for my normal swim that I would do, and then I go into the steam room, and I usually take my crystal with me into the steam room, and just kind of meditate. I do a few procedures and things with myself that I've learned, and I do them with a crystal. I try to clear myself, and I have all these things that I do through the I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Beyond Doorways by Alexis Cartwright, but it's a book that I got, and she teaches this transference healing, which is really more even extensive than Reiki, and very high vibrational. And what I do, I just use, there's different procedures that help you connect and anchor yourself, and how to, like, I have a dragon power procedure that I use to help protect myself and to help me stand in my power. And that day I was really feeling like I just didn't want to be on the earth anymore, and I just really wanted, because I had been promised that there would be times, because I'm an activator, and I have been told that for me, it's not going to be something where I'm going to be able to just like go to the new earth energies right away as soon as they show up, because I'm meant to be activating people, and that's my job, that's my mission. And so at different times, I get very kind of lonely, and I just don't want to be in the vibration of like all the people around me. And so I was having a day like that where I just wanted to connect with my star family. And I had the crystal with me, and I started kind of just closing my eyes, and I was basically bawling my eyes out and just kind of like, I don't want to be here. This is the kind of thing that was happening to me. And so I rubbed the side of my crystal. So I'm going to try to put up here and see if you can see it, but there's like a little notch kind of on my crystal. It kind of sticks out of my crystal. And so I was in the steam room, and I started kind of like rubbing the crystal like this. And I had my eyes closed. I was just sitting there, and I was just kind of like feeling sorry for myself, basically. And and then all of a sudden, this purple tunnel showed up in my third eye, and I was just seeing this purple tunnel, and it was like beckoning me to like go into this tunnel. And so I allowed myself, I said okay, and I allowed myself to go into this tunnel, and all of a sudden I found myself in the inner earth, and all of my guides were there, all of the Council of Nine, which I've been working with. Archangel Michael was there, and the Star Mothers were all there. And they took me around. There was like a little like fire by the water, and there was like a little crystal skull that seemed to be like past. So the internet kind of got cut off during this part of the talk, and so I just wanted to go in and tell you a little bit more about what I was explaining, that I was basically being shown this inner earth. I think we left off at the Star Mothers were handing around, they were doing something like a ritual or some kind of thing with this crystal skull, and they were kind of passing it around. I don't really know what they were doing. And then there was a Star Mother that came over to me, and she told me she was going to take me to my healing chamber. And my healing chamber was this like crystal pyramid that was bigger than my body, and I was able to kind of like walk into the pyramid and lay there. There was like a bed, like a crystal bed in the middle of the chamber, and I was able to kind of lay on the bed. And then the rest of it, I think, is I'm going to be explaining here at the next part that didn't get cut off. Chamber, and I would like you to, she telepathically just said, go into your healing chamber. And so I went into my healing chamber, and I kind of got comfortable. And all of a sudden there was, I think that day, there was a bunch of blue light that was kind of like swarming around me. I can't remember if it was green or blue, but there was all this light, and I was being infused with this light, and I started feeling a little bit better, and I wasn't feeling as sorry for myself. And so then when I kind of like, and when it was all over with, and I was basically told by there was a being that was there, and she looked at me and she said, this is your healing chamber. You can come to this anytime you need to come and rejuvenate yourself. Anytime that you feel like you just want to connect with the higher energies, anytime that you just feel lonely, come on into the healing chamber. And so that was the introduction to the healing chamber. And these healing chambers, I've been shown that these healing chambers exist for everybody, and that all you need to do is just ask, and you can have your etheric body taken into the healing chamber. But after that was all said and done, and I walked out and I went into the whirlpool, because obviously I was in the steam room and I was really hot inside the steam room. And so I went into the whirlpool to cool myself down a little bit. And I was looking into the crystal, and I don't know if you can see this here, but see how there's like a pyramid, there's like a triangle in my crystal. I'm trying to get it close up and you can kind of see it. It's right underneath the little notch that I had my finger on. And so it was like a key. And so as soon as I was rubbing this, I realized that that's how they showed me how to come to my healing chamber, to rub that, and it's like the key, and then close my eyes and connect. And so that's how I learned to use my crystal to help me go into the healing chamber. And then after I started doing that, things started happening with my crystal that I didn't expect. And as I'm working with it, it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And for me, with being in water seems to be activating it even more. So whenever I go in and I spend time in the water, I take my crystal with me, and then I'll go to the steam room, which I haven't been able to do because we're on lockdown for like a year now. But before, what I would do is I would go in and I would do all my procedures. And one thing I noticed is one of the procedures that I do is called the Dragon Power procedure. And it's for a person that has a wounding, a Chiron wounding in Aries, which I do. And it's all about standing in your power. It's all about a person that feels like I have a hard problem with like rejection. I feel like I'm not enough, this kind of thing. And so I a lot of times will do this procedure to help with. Okay, so in this part, the internet got cut off again, or it just kind of like, it was like I was a robot inside of there. So I just wanted to explain this part a little bit better. And so I was doing a procedure, and in the procedure, I had to imagine yellow light coming out of my solar plexus, and then there was green energy around my heart. And so then I'm just going to be telling you what happened after it, and when I put my crystal into the water afterwards, and you can catch back up on that. The swimming pool, and I'm sitting there, and I looked down at my crystal, and it was like glowing yellow and green. And I thought, maybe there's something going on with the lighting in the pool. So I moved around to like a whole bunch of different areas, and every time I put my crystal into the water, different areas of my crystal would glow green and yellow. And I thought, this is really weird. And then I would take the crystal out of the water, and I wasn't seeing green and yellow. And I was like, I don't know. So my crystal is starting to do things, and it was absolutely amazing to me. I was just kind of like, my crystal's glowing. I literally got out of the pool and went into live on Facebook to tell everybody that my crystal was glowing. I was so excited about my crystal glowing. And then since then, when I work with my crystal it glows outside of the water now, not just inside the water, and it turns different colors. So like sometimes if I'm working, or if I need help with like my like if I'm working with blue, like as far as like your throat chakra or something, sometimes there'll be like blue coming in, and sometimes there's turquoise, and sometimes there's pink. It's all different depending upon what I'm working with. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, when you work with your crystal and keep it with you, and it will start getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and different things will happen with your crystal. And So that's really all I wanted to talk about with there. And so before I go a little bit farther, I just want to see if anybody has any questions about what I was just talking about before we go forward. Anybody, you can let your mute off and ask me if you have a question so far. Lisa's got a question.
How do you know which crystals for you? Is it like when I got called to the Brazilian one, I just had to have it. You know, I have them all on my windowsill now, and I pick them up and I look into them. And I remember when you did that video, I was like, oh, how cool. So how do you... I've seen videos where people activate. So how do you speak to your crystal? I mean, you just...
Well, what I've learned is just by working with it, is just by having it with me. Like, first of all, the ones that you're attracted to answer that question, the ones that you're attracted to are the right ones for you. And different crystals they'll help you with different things. Not all crystals, they all have different things to do. And another thing I'd like to say before we go any farther is, this is one question I had before I had a quantum session one time. I wanted to know, do you have to have, because, okay, I went and I did a workshop, and it was a Lemurian crystal workshop. And I wanted to know how to work with my Lemurians better, right? And so I went to the workshop, and then I was told that you could only work with the crystals from Brazil, like the one that you have there, Lisa. And I was told that those were the only good ones, right? And so I had a question about that. I questioned that because I was kind of like, how come only the crystals from Brazil are the ones that we can, that will work? And so I asked that question during a quantum session that I had. I said, my higher self will tell me the answer, and I'll trust my higher self. And so I asked the question, and my guide said to me, well, what do you think, Robin? And she said, no, every crystal that's on the earth is programmed, and it doesn't have to be a special crystal that comes from the same place in Brazil. That every crystal will work if you're attracted to it, and even if you just found it on the beach, and if you're attracted to it and it calls you, then it will work for you. And so don't have to worry about when people are coming in to do Lemurian healing, working with the Lemurian crystals. You don't have to worry about having an actual quote unquote Lemurian crystal, because all the crystals are Lemurian, if you want to look at it that way. Because all the crystals come on the earth, and they all work. And they were also telling me that most crystals, they don't hold the same frequency as humans, right? And they hold a higher vibration. They hold the crystalline higher vibration than what we humans hold. And so I was told that you don't even need to worry about cleaning it and all that. Like, I don't know how many times I've gone to these crystal classes, and I've learned that you have to clean it, and it's so important to clean it and clean it and clean it and all this kind of stuff in case somebody touches it or whatever. And I was actually told that you don't have to worry about that, because the crystals are such high vibration, they're not going to change their vibration because somebody with a lower vibration touches it. Okay. That's what I learned. I don't know if it's true, but that's basically what I was shown. And I can't remember the rest of your question.
No, that's okay. I forgot the question.
I'm trying to think of the rest of the question. Does anybody else have any questions before I go farther?
Yeah, can you talk a little, this is very fascinating, can you talk a little more about that procedure you were telling me about when you go into the steam room and you did that? You said you had a procedure.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to know a little bit more about what these procedures are about?
Yeah.
Okay. So these procedures I learned, let me get the book. The book is just back out again. It was out of print and they just brought it back on. I don't know if this is going to be backwards. Can you guys see this? Does it look backwards or forwards?
No, it's
So this book is called Beyond Doorways, right? It's by Alexis Cartwright. She's an Australian lady. It is like the Bible. It's like there is so much information in here that's channeled, and there's so much about all of this. And in this lady she has written in a whole new kind of modality. It's called transference healing. The lady teaches you procedures, and there's different procedures for different things. Like, I'm just going to kind of go through here and see if I can. There's procedures for, like, if you have, like, we all have a certain kind of wounding, and that's the one that I would. So it happened again. The computer started going into like robot mode while I was trying to explain that about the book. And so I just wanted to go a little bit more in depth. This book is, it cut off at the time when I was talking about my Chiron wounding. And I was basically saying that you can access the information if you don't want to buy the book, that Alexis Cartwright, she provides the whole chapter on Chiron wounding, and you can look it up and get the PDF. You can download a free PDF from her site, and it's called transferencehealing.com. And it's like the Bible. This book has so much information in it, and I think that's what I was trying to tell during the robot-y part that was in here, and just that about the book, and about how it can stretch your consciousness. Like, if you're really looking for something that will stretch you, and something that you just feel like you're ready for, something that will take you beyond where you're at today, I definitely recommend this book. I'm upset about what's making me so sad, what's making me angry, and you start looking at that, and you kind of peel it back, and you look at it, and you think, then you get to the point where, how did so-and-so not answering my text, like, say, like, you're okay, so I'm upset, pretend that I'm upset about somebody not answering my text, and I'm feeling like that I saw the green dot on in the messenger, and it's been like 8 hours, and so-and-so didn't answer me, they're ignoring me, maybe they don't like me anymore, all these things are going through your head, okay? This is just an example. And so-and-so isn't liking me anymore, or maybe I've done something to make them not answer me in my thing, maybe there's something. And so you would go through all these things, and this is part of my wounding, where I would go through and I would start thinking that I would really start thinking that I did something to make this person not like me anymore, or not, because they're not answering my text, and what's going on, and this is just like getting me so upset. And so you go in there and you think, okay, what is it that is really bothering me? How am I feeling about this person not answering my text? How does that make me feel? Well, it makes me feel angry. So you get this feeling, you're like, it makes me feel angry. Or you're feeling disrespected, or some like feeling that you're getting, and you're feeling this feeling. And so then in the procedure, you're asked to hold the feeling that you're feeling around it, and let go of what happened, the fact that she didn't answer the text, and all of the drama around it, and just feel the feeling of being angry and upset, and how that's feeling inside. And you just hold that for about a minute or two, and it can get very uncomfortable while you're holding that feeling, because it's not something that you like. And then you allow that to kind of like sink down in between your hip bones. And then you imagine the violet flame, and you can even ask Saint Germain to come in, or you can ask Archangel Michael, or whoever makes you feel more comfortable. And you can burn that feeling up. So I don't want that feeling anymore. I felt that feeling. I know what that feels like. So now I'm going to burn the angry feeling away. And so I just imagine the violet flame coming up and just disintegrating the angry feeling. And then as the procedure goes, then as I've done that, and now I am going to move up into my heart. And I'm going to feel the love that's emanating in and out of my heart. And I imagine a green energy, a green light, a green ray, whatever you want to imagine it to be. And just imagine this hovering around in and out and through your heart chakra, filling you up with love, filling you up with just like so that you feel so much better. And then you take a white light that's done. So what I do is I take my crystal and I bring it down and I imagine my crystal hooking to the crystals that are inside of the earth. And I imagine them helping me bring that up all the way through and bring it all the way up around me, all the way in, through, out of my crown, and then all the way around like a bubble over the top of me, like all around me. So I'm surrounded with this bubble. And then I take a silver line of force. It's imagining a silver line coming from the higher chakras, from above, from my soul star chakra. And I'm bringing that down, the silver line. And I take my crystal and I go around my auric field all the way around and I seal the bubble with a silver line of force. And then I'm good to go. And so that's what the procedures are like. Stuff like that. They're all different. They all do different things. Some of the procedures you speak and do different things, and some of them you like imagine lines going and anchoring and like all this stuff happening. So I hope I answered your question. Who was it that I even asked the question?
Yeah, totally. Thank you. And what was the website again for the wounding?
The what?
The wounding.
The website. Okay, so it's Transference. I'm gonna spell it. Okay, it's Transference. It's TRANS as in snake, FERENCE healing.com. And when you get in there, you can either buy the book, it is expensive, but it's not as expensive as it is in other places. It's well worth the read if you're looking for something that really stretches you from stretches your consciousness, stretches everything. It's definitely a good read. And it's not one of those books that you'll ever put away, because you'll go back to it like over and over and over again, because there's like all these procedures and stuff inside. So, and you can also become like a practitioner of it and everything, but that's not like, I don't go that far. That's not like where I want to go to. I just kind of use the procedures. So yeah, that's awesome. No, any more questions before I go forward? Because I have a little bit more I want to talk about, and I'm looking at the time, and because I have a whole healing that I want to do, but I just want to talk about the, let's see, it's really important to talk about the cosmic heart and how important it is for us to work through the heart. And so basically, what we're going to be doing today in the healing is I'm going to be connecting you guys to the cosmic heart, which is the galaxy, the universe, and to the great central sun. And I'll be connecting you to the cosmic heart and then bringing you back down. You're going to get a healing and everything from the great central sun. But I also wanted to talk about the chambers of the heart, okay? And it's something that I've learned in this book, Beyond Doorways, and it's something that I feel is important. I pulled some cards around what needed to be talked about today, and this was one of the things they wanted me to talk about. So this is just kind of like knowledge about the 3 chambers of heart, but I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, okay? So I learned that there's 3 chambers of the heart, and we work at different times in the different chambers in different lifetimes. So the first chamber of the heart chakra is all about the green ray, and it stimulates the emotion of love, and the tone is F. If you're looking at like a tone, because toning is something that I do as well. I do a lot of toning in that steam room. I do a lot of oohs, whatever's coming through, and I might do some today, who knows. And it says most people who are beginning their ascension process are working with this chamber. So most people on the earth right now that are just awakening, that are just starting going, they're working with this chamber. And some people might not even get past working with this chamber in this lifetime, but they will pick up on it on a different lifetime if they choose, okay? And then the second chamber of the heart chakra is the pink ray. And this chamber stimulates the emotion of unconditional love. And the tone is F sharp. And in this chamber, one can begin working with the light body and the Merkaba, which I do want to go back and tell you the story about the Merkaba, I think. I can tell you guys, remind me in a minute. I'm going to tell you the story about Merkaba and how to connect it, okay? It is here that one can connect fully to the part of you that gives direction, meaning, and purpose. We are also able to evolve and ascend into higher levels of consciousness by anchoring creative, psychic, and spiritual gifts and talents. This, in turn, enables one to channel universal frequencies that create more profound healing responses in ourselves and others. These are mainly what we call light workers, starseeds, channelers of today, who are here to serve humanity into the new golden age. And so most of the people that are channeling, that are doing all of their starseed work, that are like starting to like actually take action for the humanity, most of them are working in the second chamber in their lifetime now. And then the third chamber is the blue ray, and it stimulates the emotion of compassion, and it's the tone of G. And only a small number of people master the third chamber of the heart and fully embody the I am presence required to become a beacon of light. And in order to master this chamber, one must fully embody the first and second chamber, be living in higher consciousness, be living in service to humanity instead of service to self, embody and master all dimensions of the new anatomy, which is like the light body. They have to basically embody all of it. Be birthing the Christ body and consciousness, which is 7th dimensional consciousness, and be utilizing Merkaba technology and therefore living a higher and more multidimensional existence as a global teacher and instrument of light. When one masters the third chamber, they access and work with all 5 higher chakras fully, and all of their chakras are aligned. It's kind of like they would definitely be having a Kundalini awakening and ascend their light body to a higher plane of existence. So these are humans that come in and they're able to ascend their light body while they're in their human body, like what Jesus did. And so they're able to kind of like do that. Whereas when you're not working in the third chamber and it comes to the time of death, you end up going to where we go, and then you have to come back as a human body and then like try to like keep doing it where you're moving your light body up and where you're physically doing that. Like I think Melchizedek or something like that. I don't really have a lot of knowledge on that, so I don't want to go in very far with that. So anybody have any questions about that before? Oh, and then I'm going to talk about the crystals, and then we're going to do the healing.
What were the colors and tones again of the 3 chambers?
Okay, so the first chamber is the green ray, and it stimulates the emotion of love, and it's the tone of F, as in Frank. It's the heart. It's actually the heart tone. If you're in Reiki, if you know Reiki, that is the tone for that. And then and then they were saying that the earth resonates at different tones during the time that it ascends, and like for a while there we were working with F, and then it went, at the moment it's F and F sharp, and eventually when everything totally raises the vibration and it's constant, then we will totally be in G. So the earth's tone will then be G instead of F sharp and F. That's what I learned. Okay, and the second chamber is the pink ray, and that's the tone of F sharp. And the third chamber is the blue ray, and that's the tone of G. Now, I was also talking about my crystal glowing and how sometimes like it comes to different colors. And so I was actually kind of contemplating this as well. And sometimes when I'm working with the energies like that happen in the third chamber, when I'm working with the blue ray, like when I'm working with my Merkaba, I've been working on spinning my Merkaba and being able to travel with my Merkaba, which is your traveling device, consciously instead of like just doing it while we're sleeping. I noticed that my crystal starts glowing blue. So I'm wondering if it has something to do with the blue ray in the third chamber of the heart, but I'm not sure. So that's just something that I've noticed whenever I'm working with the Merkaba. It's kind of different, but let's see. Merkaba. That's what I wanted to come back. There was something I wanted to tell you about the Merkaba. Oh, okay. Something that's been coming through. They were telling me about the inner earth, the beings from the inner earth. I just did a channeling. I don't know if I have it all written down yet. I started writing it and then something happened. I have to get it back out and write it. It's about the inner earth and astral traveling. They wanted to talk about astral travel and bilocation. And they were trying to explain to me that the differences between astral body, bilocation, and the Middle Earth is named Agartha. Yeah, there's all different names that I've been being shown. I've been being shown the City of Light, and that there's different cities of light, and they all have different names in them. I've heard Telos, I've heard Agartha, I've heard Alexandra talks about a place that she Azazaz or something, Arzazaz or something like that. I can't pronounce it. And so they're different ones. And but they've been really stressing to me this astral travel thing, and I've been trying to kind of get my head around it. And they were saying that all human beings have the ability to astral travel. It's in our DNA. It's what we do, and we do it every night when we go to sleep. All of us do that. That's what we're doing in our dream time. And when we're going off into dreams and things, that's our astral body traveling, and there's all kinds of things happening during the nighttime. Yeah, Telos. Yeah, my friend David just went to Mount Shasta, and he was all telling about Telos. he was telling me all about that city, and I was like, oh my God, I just channeled in this information, and he was explaining the same information that I was being shown with the cities, and I was like, oh my God, this was being shown. But they were talking about, they wanted us to know that there's a difference between astral travel and bilocation, astral bilocation and physical bilocation. And so what they were showing me was astral travel happens either consciously or unconsciously when you're sleeping, and that you can consciously astral travel by using your Merkaba and your light body and everything kind of like traveling. But then there's also what is called bilocation, and these inner earth beings, these Lemurians, and they can actually bilocate. So they were showing me that what they do is and they said we can do it, it's just that we need to learn how to do it. And all I could see was like they were melting. All of a sudden you start thinking, and all of a sudden all your like cells and everything kind of melt. I don't know how it does it. And then all of a sudden they think about where they want to be, and then they can be there, and then all of a sudden their body goes back together again. And that's like physical bilocation. But for now, what most of us are doing is astral bilocation. So like we're doing it in the astral. So our light body is going to another place at dream time, or when we're conscious and we're doing it in meditation or something, where our astral body is going to the place and doing that. So that's what they wanted to talk about, like the Merkaba, and they just wanted me to tell a quick story about how when I was starting to get information, because I've been getting information that I was supposed to be doing this consciously instead of like just when I was asleep. And there was a little bit of like trepidation and a little bit of fear behind doing this, like especially because I do most of my stuff in the steam room and the sauna. I was a little bit worried, like what if I started like astral traveling to the inner earth during a meditation, and I'm there for like 2 hours, even though like in our time, and even though it doesn't feel like that. And what's going to happen to my body if I'm in the steam room and I decide to astral travel, and like, something going to happen? Am I going to like be in there too long? And I was a little bit worried, and there was a little bit of fear around traveling and what would happen to my body, my physical body here. And so I went through this time where they showed me little by little, like it's not that big of a deal, like that when you're traveling. They were showing me how, first of all, I did a Lemurian healing afternoon where I have people coming, and I've been doing this for a while, where they come and they do a healing, and during my healing they started spinning my Merkaba, and they started showing me how it felt, so that I wouldn't be so scared when it started happening. And then one day I was in the sauna, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. You need to show me how to do it. And I was really a little bit scared, and I got this vision over the top of me. It was my, where's my tile? I usually have it out. Let's see. I think I told this when I was on with... Oh, here goes all my artwork. down it goes. Not a big deal. So I had this vision of this guy here, and this is my dragon, and he was hovering over me, and he was showing me that I had a little bit of fear around this, and so he wanted to help me, so I wasn't going to be afraid anymore. And so he had me take my energy. He said, focus your energy and hook it into me. Just like in the movie Avatar, how they hook their hair, their like ponytail thing, into a little thing that they're going to ride, whatever those beings are, the flying things. And that's that so I did that. I hooked my energy in. And then once I did that, he said, now I'll keep you protected, and I will take you when you first start to travel. And then afterwards, that's just a piece of artwork that I made afterwards. And then after that, I had a session. I had a quantum session again. That was last March. And they started teaching me in the session. I was still kind of scared about doing this astral travel while awake. And so I was there, and my guides, or I think Metatron came in, and he asked me if I want, they got me into my healing chamber. They put me into my healing chamber, and then they said to me I needed to go into my heart. And so they kind of like infused I was in the chamber, and they infused me with this green energy to make me feel like I was okay and that I was like in my heart. And then they asked me if I would like to practice and if I would like to go to the Hall of Records. And I was like, okay, I guess, yeah. And so I went to the Hall of Records, and I got to like experience the whole Hall of Records, and they showed me how to like focus and just focus and you be there. And then after I was there, I didn't really learn anything about the records. It was just they wanted to show me how to get there and then how to like get back. And so I did that. And then afterwards I was told that it's time to like stretch the muscle. And so I just been practicing ever since. So I've been starting to do a little bit of astral traveling while I'm awake, but I don't do it like every single day because it's just too much for my body. So does anybody have any questions about that? No, we're good. Okay, so then the last thing I just want to talk about is working with the crystals, and what I've been working with the Lemurian crystals now for at least like 4 years, and I have been bringing people in to work with them. I've been doing them in groups, and then I do them one-on-one with people. And what I've noticed that there's advantages and disadvantages both ways, whether you're doing it one-on-one or by yourself. There's different ways to use the crystal. You can either have a physical crystal, or you can use the crystals that are inside of the earth. Today we're going to use the crystals that are inside of the earth. And but then you can have the physical crystal. And one thing that they were showing me is we do one certain way where we put the crystal towards a person, and then we ask the star mothers to help with the healing and to give whatever healing the people need at the time. And so you just take your crystal, and everybody in the group, everybody sits around in a circle, and we have a person in the middle, and we put the crystal towards each other, towards the person that's needing the healing, and we focus on that. And we just allow the star mothers and our guides to come through and give whatever it is that we need to give. Well, during the time when you're doing it in a group, all of you will be seeing, feeling, sensing something for the person. And everybody has like, usually there's some of it is similar and some of it's not. So when you're doing it in a group, there's more of an advantage because you get feedback from people afterwards, and they tell you like what they saw for the person, and and the different things that you see happening, like, because like the Lemurian, you'll see, because when I'm doing this, I'll be explaining what's happening, what I'm seeing in front of me, and or what I'm feeling or sensing. And they'll do different adjustments and things like this for people, whatever they need, kind of thing. And then another thing you can do is crystal gaze. And basically you're looking into the crystal for somebody. And when you're looking in for yourself, you tend to want to see things that you want to see the answers for. And when you're crystal gazing, the crystal will show you your shadow. It'll show you like things that you need to work on, your shadow work kind of stuff. And so when you're working with it, sometimes you're trying to see something that's actually not in front of you. Whereas like if somebody else is looking into the crystal for you, they'll see it without a filter. Like they don't worry about what they're seeing inside the crystal. And so sometimes when you're working with a group, it's more effective because they can give you feedback as far as what they're seeing without the filter of the outcome or whatever. So like you'll be looking into a crystal and you'll be seeing, you want it to tell you that you've climbed the whole mountain, but then you see a being that's only climbed halfway up, and you're looking at the crystal going, oh, I don't know, I want to really be to the top of the mountain, and that way. But maybe sometime I'll do a whole workshop on crystal gazing, because I started talking about crystal gazing this year on my platform, and I started taking pictures of the crystals inside water and putting them up on Facebook and asking people what they saw in the crystals. And I was trying to see like what people were seeing, because I was writing in information on how to crystal gaze. And I wanted to show that different people will see different things in the same image, because everybody's working on something different. We all have a different thing to look at. And I started getting people commenting and writing that I needed to do something to clean my crystal or stop working with my crystal, because my crystal was showing them demons and dark entities and all kinds of stuff. And other people were looking at it and they weren't seeing that at all, and they were seeing something different. And the reason why those people were seeing dark things and scary things to them was because that was their shadow and something that they needed to look at. And so I was told to pull the pictures off from my Facebook page until people would be able to understand how to crystal gaze properly, because they were thinking that there was demons inside my crystal, and that's not what the case was. So eventually I'm going to be putting that up. It's going to be in my book that I'm writing, so there's going to be an extensive chapter on crystal gazing and how to use it for healing. So any questions before we go into the healing? Everybody's still good? Everybody's fine? Nobody's like falling asleep on me or anything? Everybody's good? Okay. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go into the healing. So I would like to ask anybody that's watching this on the replay, or anybody that's watching this right now, to just allow yourself to get comfortable. And what's going to happen is I'm going to be bringing in the Star Mothers and all of your guides, and we're going to be doing just a general healing for you today, and each one of you will get something different depending upon what you need. And because this is a workshop, I will be telling you what I'm seeing for the collective through it. You might be seeing something or feeling something different from what I'm talking about, and that's just because you're being given exactly what you need. And so don't worry if what I'm seeing doesn't match what you're seeing, because everybody's going to be having a different experience. And usually we would talk about it afterwards, but for today we're not able to, just because of the time frame. And I think Johnny is getting ready. She'll be doing hers very soon, so I want to get this done before Johnny goes in to do hers. So just get comfortable, and I'm going to take you guys in, and I'm going to be using, just to let you know, I'm using my Lemurian crystal today, and I will be I've already asked the crystal to come through and be there to work with everybody watching this and everybody that's here in the room. So anybody that sees this afterwards, the healing will be the same, okay? And there is a bit of channeling that might happen in the middle of this. So I just don't know exactly what's going to happen. Okay, so take time. Okay, before I get started with this part of the healing, I just wanted to explain a little bit more deeper about how it is that I'm working with the energy that was used during the times of Lemuria. This is something that I have been being taught from my aspect Alana, who was a high priestess in the times of Lemuria, and she helped with other Lemurians, or whatever you want to call them. She helped infuse the crystal, all of the crystals of the earth, with the information to remember the times and the way that they used to heal and the way that they used to work. And so we just need to take a moment to start connecting to the cosmic heart and to start breathing through the heart. Now take a moment to settle yourself down. Make sure that you're in a place where you won't be bothered by anything outside of you for at least around 20 minutes so that you can get the full healing benefit. So before we get started, we're going to take some time to fully connect to our heart, and then we're going to move on to connect you to the cosmic heart. So we need to focus right now on our breath. It's very important that we learn to breathe through the heart. So as you take a deep breath in, allow your breath to breathe in through your heart. So feel your breath going into your heart space. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, allow anything that might be bothering you, anything that's on your mind, allow that to just flow away with your when you breathe out. Take a deep breath in, and breathe out. Take a deep breath in, and breathe out. I now would like to ask you to remember a time when you felt loved unconditionally, or when you gave love unconditionally. You might be remembering a time in your childhood, or maybe when you felt loved by another, or maybe when you were giving childbirth or when a new child came into the world. Remember the feeling that you felt during that time. Hold that feeling of love. Fill your heart up with this feeling of love. Fully immerse yourself in this feeling. Now I'm going to ask you to send out to another person of your choice the love that you are holding, the love that you're feeling in your heart right now. Send it out to another person. Now send it out to an animal of your choice, or even all of the animals of the earth if you wish. Send this love out to the city or town that you live in. Send this love out to the whole of the earth, this beautiful blue globe we call home. Immerse the love and that you have, just let it just permeate through the beautiful blue globe. Now send this love out to the cosmos, to the galaxy, to other universes and other worlds that you don't even know that exist at the moment that do exist. Send it out to all the galactic planets. And finally, send this love out to the great central sun. Now allow the love that the Source Creator has for you today to fill you up. Being totally and completely immersed in the love that the Creator Source has for you. Now I would like you to visualize the ocean or an area near a waterfall. Kind of like a little nook in a spring area near the ocean where it will kind of go into a nook where there's kind of a waterfall coming down. And you notice that there is a family of dolphins swimming around this little bay area. The dolphins beckon you to go on an adventure with them. They want to bring you to a special place deep inside the earth. So allow the dolphins to take you on a journey. You can either ride on the back of a dolphin or you can swim with the dolphin, whichever you prefer. We're going to go deep into the water. And it's okay, you can breathe underwater. We're going to take you deep down, so that allow the dolphin to take you deep down into the water, and you'll pass many things along the way. There's coral reefs, and then all of a sudden you see this beautiful light, this very strong light that's coming from the bed of the bottom of the ocean. And your dolphin brings you all the way into a cave where you come up and you realize that you are in a city of light located in the inner earth. This city of light is absolutely beautiful. And there are domed shaped buildings. There are a lot of healing baths and springs. You notice that there's this special kind of light that's kind of like a big huge globe that's permeating throughout the whole cave, throughout the whole city. And the buildings, they kind of glow. They're a bit transparent, but yet they're private as well, so you can't really see the beings inside, but the buildings are made out of some kind of material that is glowing. And as you walk over through the landscape, you notice that there is a fire going on near one of the healing pools. And at this fire, there is a circle of star mothers. These are the Lemurian star mothers, and they reside here in the City of Light. And they're sitting around the fire and they're asking you to come along and just watch what they're doing. And they seem to have a bowl of water. Rose water is what I'm being told. And they're doing a kind of ritual where they're helping each other bathe their hands and wash themselves, their hands and their feet, with this rose scented water. And they're rubbing all kinds of oils all over the skin. And they ask you to sit down by the fire because they would like to also purify you by giving you a special rose water bath. So allow one of the star mothers to immerse your hands into the bowl of water. And as she cups her hand into the water, she might pour the water over your head. She now takes a beautiful silver towel and she dabs it around and dries you off. And I'm being told that this might be something that you would like to start doing for yourself. So when you're in the shower or you're in the bath, they're asking you to take more care in purifying yourself with water. Take much more time with the intention that when you're washing yourself, you're also washing your astral body, your light body, and bathing it in the properties of the healing water. Now, one of the star mothers, who is your guide today, would like to bring you to a healing chamber. The healing chambers that exist inside the earth, inside the cities of light, are pyramid-shaped, clear crystal. So as you're being walked over to your pyramid, you're able to go inside. You literally just step through the pyramid. There's no door that opens. And allow yourself to just step inside the walls of the pyramid. And inside this healing chamber, there is a beautiful crystal bed waiting for you. And on top of the bed is a nice fluffy mattress for you to lay on and feel comfortable. And next to the bed is a pile of fluffy warm blankets for you. So allow yourself to lay on this crystal bed and cover yourself up with these comfy blankets if you feel the need. And now the Lemurian Star Mothers are going to be activating your healing chamber with whatever it is that you need at this time. Most of the time, the Lemurian Star Mothers will infuse you with light. And the color of light can change depending upon whatever it is that you need. So at this time, allow them to adjust and recalibrate your body. Each of you will get a different type of healing because each of you needs something different at this time. You may notice that there's a Star Mother there. And she's kind of tending to you. And she's using her hands generate different types of energy frequencies that will help you heal and help you rejuvenate your body. At this time, I have a message coming through. The Arcturians are here today to bring in the pure white light of Source. We are upgrading your systems and your DNA by weaving in sacred geometry codes from our world to yours. We are very excited for some of you to finally be able to feel and hear us in the now time. For so long, many humans were vibrating at such a different speed that we could not communicate easily with you as we can today. We, the Arcturians, want to welcome you all to our cosmic family of light. As time moves forward, we look forward to the meeting and communication we will all have together. It is time for humans to become part of the cosmic family that has always existed. Welcome, dear ones. You will begin to start working with us in a more etheric way and be using your light bodies more to communicate with this cosmic galactic family. Alana is here, the daughter of light, and she has a message of manifestation for all of you. Dear ones, you all have the ability to manifest whatever your heart desires. As you move to a higher vibration, the way you manifest will change. As you raise your vibration, you will notice that everything will begin to manifest more quickly. It will feel like all you need to do is simply think about a thought, and it manifests almost instantly. Because of the swiftness of this new way of manifestation, you, dear ones, will need to be more clear in your thoughts, as your thoughts will manifest a very quick result. We ask that you be mindful and try to create conscious positive thoughts. The reason being is negative thoughts will manifest just as quickly. So keep your attention focused on divine alignment, joyful visions, and gratitude. Whenever you notice yourself starting to go down a negative path in your mind, simply redirect your thought. Some of you will benefit more if you retrain your brain, so to speak. Spend time each day in gratitude so that your unconscious mind takes on a more positive thought pattern. Most of all, dear ones, you are reminded that the healing chambers exist all of the time, and you are invited to come to one anytime you feel the need to be immersed and bathed in light. There is no need to struggle in lower, denser energies anymore. All you need to do is ask, and you will be taken to the chamber. this chamber that you're lying in right now. Now it's time to leave the healing chamber for this moment, but just know that you can come back anytime that you wish. Anytime that you're feeling sad, or anytime that you're feeling like you need an adjustment. Let's take the time to thank the Star Mothers and all of our spiritual team today, and the Arcturians who came in with this special message. Thank you very much for everything that was brought through today. Now I just want to bring you back to your body, and so start to feel your fingers and toes wiggling. Start to feel your body before you open your eyes. Be kind to yourselves through the coming days, and remember to drink plenty of water as your body and light body adjust to the keys and codes received in this healing session. The mothers also want you to know they are always with you, and you can connect with them at any time or visit the healing chambers. All you need to do is ask, and they will be with you. So open your eyes and bring yourself back into the room that you're in. Be open to any changes that occur in the next few weeks. Know that you are loved, and you are enough.